Hi. I'll put some trees in and let's hope that you find this relaxing. Okay. Hey. This is the new one on the camera. Alright. Hopefully this means that when I do this, into some Van Dyke brown with my fan brush, that you can see it on this camera. I'm going to get a lot of Van Dyke brown. Lots of it. Lots of Van Dyke brown. Okay. A bit more. Plenty, plenty, plenty. Let's see how much we have. Okay, okay. Touch more than that. Just pulling through. There we go. Alrighty. There we are. Right, so let's just go really crazy. And where we're going to have a tree trunk. Let's see. Let's have one back over here. Back in the distance, and we'll just touch. There he is, there's his trunk starting. Oh, where's he going to go? How tall are we having this one? Right, let's just see what happens. We'll go into this bit here. Oh, that's a bit more right, just a touch. Right, so we're going up to here. Let's see, that's how tall he is. Let's see, that's where he's up to. And his foot just goes all the way down to. Yeah, we'll just give him a little bit of a routine to do the roots do something like that. Okay. And we can come in and put some grass over the top of that to fix that up. Right, so as you know, hopefully we can see how much what we're doing with the paint on the palette. Right, as you know, it goes thinner. You see trees that go off thinner. And it goes off into there somewhere. Now, maybe there's a little branch. He just goes like that. Maybe there's one here. Where's there? And there's one around that side that's facing away from us, so we can only see a little bit of it because it's going that way into the distance. Maybe up here there's one that's coming towards us. So that'll be like that. Little doer coming off him as well. And there's that one there. Now, okay, this one will have being an evergreen, so I want these edges to be fuzzy, so I'm just gonna tap again with the fan brush. With the fan brush, see the edges getting like that. And that's good, because that's what we want. We want them to be fuzzy edged. Fuzzy edged. And then just one or two protrusions up there. Maybe there's a branch that does this. Okay. Don't know what's going on with all these. And there's that one going up there, but maybe there's also one next to him. And he creates this one here. Okay. Change my as you go. Alright. More paint. Where do we want to go with it? So let's see. There's got to be a few little splitty offy bits that happen. And then there's a few branches there. Okay. I don't want too much on this tree, so I think we'll leave it to that amount, and we will take, not cleaning the brush, into some burnt umber, pull that right down, both sides, and I'm going to take some titanium white and pull that into it as well. Okay, maybe not enough white, bit more white, okay. Oh, There. Now we get a nice colour. Alright now. I'm just going to go on to the light side, coming from up here. So, and then just go onto the side and put some highlights in. Just tapping again. Just tapping again. Okay. A bit on here. Just a few where the light's going to strike. It's going to strike there. And a bit more of this light colour. It's going to go there. Ooh, shining. And just blend it out into the rest. Tapping a little bit gentler in the centre. A little bit gentler, that way you can have the colours blended. You can have them blended. Make sure these branches don't feel left out. They want some sunlight on them too. They want some. Okay. There we are. Alright. I'm going to go back into the Van Dyke brown. And just, this branch is in front, so just going to make him be in front. Just like that. Okay. And the one that's at the back, behind the back of the tree, we'll just have him. Okay. Right, we'll put some leaves on him. What shall we use? Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll have an exciting time. We'll use a brush, like we used before. This is probably going to go extremely wrong, but also right. So there we go. There's a nice new brush. Just give it a little rattle in case there's any loose hairs. Okay, what highlights are we doing? Put some green on. And a bit of yellow. Just some cadmium yellow. Nothing too crazy. And, well, we'll shine it up a bit with some yellow ochre. Ooh, listen to that. That's some liquidy yellow ochre. Alright. Now then, as I say, this is, you're witnessing the first time that I've used this round brush. So, wish me luck. Alright, so, we'll pull some of this green out, and we'll just tap it. Pull some green out, tap it. Take a bit of brown. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we can do. I'm not sure what's happening. Right, we'll just get there and a bit there. Well, that makes a nice sound when it taps. There we go. Right over that mountain. Brush would be nice for some weeping willows, I think. Weeping willows we could make with this. Okay, just tapping in some darker colours there. And I'm doing each individual one where the branches have come out, just tapping a bit. Not just put it anywhere in specific areas where I think leaves a bit going, and maybe there's a bit on this one that projects forward. There. Got done, isn't it? Like that brush. Now then, what shape? Okay, just a little bit there, because I felt it needed a touch. Alright, I think I'll use the same brush to go into some highlight. And some yellow ochre. And cad yellow. A bit of green as well. Want some green in there. And we'll just tap that in. Tap that in, see what happens. I don't know. I'll show you the brush. All kinds of different stuff happening there. Alright, so as I say, tapped it in. That's alright, okay. Right, let's see, the sun's coming from this side, so... Ooh, ooh, shining on top there. Very bright. Ooh, yes, that's it. Oh, it's coming in this angle. Ooh, and then there's this one that's coming towards us. Okay. Touch more colour. And we'll do this one, that final one there. And maybe there's a bit just sneaking through there, a bit of light sneaking in. And tippy toppy. There we go, so the shadows on these sides and light coming on this side means that there should be a little touch. Let me use that. Ooh, ooh, that ogre's really good at that. Okay. Touch of ogre in there, it's all on that part of the brush. Alright. And let's test this. Test how this brush reacts to making grass. I have no idea if this is going to be any good or not. I'll just at the bottom of that and push up. I've turned it around and I'm pushing up. Seems to have done the trick. It's covered its with his little foot up, with his little foot, as Bob would say. And that's covered up there, so he's getting his water through his roots, and I think that's a pretty decent tree. Let's do another one. Let's do another. Right, so back into the dark, Van Dyke brown. Watch that. I'm going to wiggle it to pull the paint to the edges of the bristles. Okay. So this dark colour, what are we having? We'll do a bigger one. What are we having this one? Where is he? He's closer. Oh, I think I see his roots there. That's where he is. Somewhere around there. Yeah. He's around there. Covering all this grass up here. Go back into the dark. And just tap in. All the way up. Oh, what's going on? We're going over our mountain. Oh, right into that. And maybe that splits into, we don't know, into different branches and things. Let's come back down here and make sure we have, when this dries, do not attack. When this dries, we'll be able to feel the texture. Feel it. Feels like bark. Feels like bark when you touch it. Okay, put a bit more paint. These fuzzy edges that we want. Okay. See how I wanted to go through these things to get more depth in the painting. That doesn't really contrast well against that, but it does against that colour. And what we're going to do now is take this little wider, touch wider. There we go. So step back and look. There we go. Okay. Now then, I'm just going to take off excess paint on this brush. There's a lot of dark on there. Just smoosh that in a bit. Okay. Right, now I'm going to go back into these lighter colours over here. Just a touch, quite a bit more white. Just get, don't be afraid to get quite a lot there. And there we go. And with that, coming on this side. Down that tree. Then we'll come back up a little closer to the centre this time. Then we just want a bit more colour, take a bit more colour. Oh, that's a bright bit there. We'll come back and fix that, surely. You can do that. these shiny bits come out because there's bumps in this tree and you'll see different things happening. This tree isn't just flat, so different kinds of shapes going on in it. Right, so I'll just go over into this darker colour and just so that extra protrusion stands out a little better. Okay. Okay, make it up as you go along. It's more fun that way. More fun. Tell you what, go back into the lighter colour. When I'm pulling this, on the same brush, I'm going lighter when I'm pulling on the palette. So that way, when you pull lighter, it pulls the paint to the outside. If I pressed it in, the paint would mix more. And I don't want it to mix until I get to the canvas. So lighter here, harder here, just so anyone is extra. Okay. Let's say the sun's a little brighter than it is. So, see how the tree, it takes a shape, it's in and then out, slightly bends that way and then it's back in. If the sun's above us, the lighter areas are going to be on parts that are leaning this way, and not so much on the parts that are leaning that way, that are going this angle, because the sun's going from down here, so it's going to hit that and that more than it's going to hit that. Alright? That's just what we're trying to go for right now. Let's get some more. There we go. To the umber. I'm going to see what happens if we get the umber and then just put it on these bits that are like that. Okay. Alright. I'm going to get some white and see what. Okay, let me. There we go. Just take off the excess. Go back into this white here. There we are. Okay. That's better. Okay. Alright. Alright. And then up here there's going to be contrast into that mountain. Okay, so I've got a trunk. I think this one over here, could have a little more highlight on that bottom bit of the trunk. Maybe just some bits further up the tree. Just here and there, here and there. He's got a bit more light shining on it. I'll just tap in and into the rest of the tree. Alright, okay. So and then this one has to have a reason that he's projecting out. So I'll bring him on. Right down, right down. Go into this colour that we when we took it off the brush, we can use this. Alright. Use this for the other side. And this root, I believe we should go there. Okay. And then there's some grassy things happening. All kinds of different things creeping over the tree there. Maybe you get on that out there. And go back into the dark. I need a little more dark over here. It's just a bit too bright for what I want. Okay, that's better. Again, just tapping it in. Okay. Maybe a little we'll use this fun little thing and see what happens if we use this to bring in the grass. Oh, there it is. Ah, yes, something I noticed. On the other side, where the cliff is, you get a bit more of these lighter colours and stuff. These highlights, tap, 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 tap. And we'll see. I think that might need a little touch more green in it to match. Let's wipe it a bit. Tap, tap, tap. What colour have we got compared? Maybe a touch of white, touch of white. Touch of white. Okay. Let's see how that's turning out. A bit more sap green there. Let's see. Oh, that's lovely. I just wanted to get some grass on this bit here. Because there was no grass hanging on. Okay. And I can go out into this. Oh, what a wonderful brush this is turning out to be. I'm enjoying this brush. Nice brush, nice brush. Okay. And maybe there's a bit of light shining on this bit down here. Very hard to see if... Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay. It's a little darker here and a little brighter here. Okay, get some nice foliage on there. A bit more yellow than the rose green, so that's shining it up. Have a bit of shiny over there. Just here and there. Get to do that dark colour. I just want to dull that bit. There, up a bit, just a bit. Okay. Okay, just in my mind's eye. In my mind's eye. That's how I saw it. I'll come back to this brush. Have we got the dark? Well, we'll go into the dark and then now we have. Now we have. I just want to define this edge. This edge. Okay. Now he's big and strong. And. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a bit on there. And just a few little grassy area bits. He seems to be overtaking that. We don't want that, do we? This bit here, he's covered up the spots. We'll go back, take some more paint, and just okay, and then it blends all in there, there's grass taking over. Alright, now, what I want to use is a liner brush. Just going to check this other camera. Yeah, that'll be an experiment in seeing how things work like that. Okay, I'm thirsty. Thirsty. Okay. Liquid clear. Bob Ross liquid clear. Should I get all this? Just use Amazon. Should be able to get it on Amazon. Plenty of different suppliers on there. Vendors. Okay. Shake it up a bit because I like the sound. Open it up. Sometimes makes a It's a bit nicer of a sound, like a sound. Okay, right, now with that, we'll just use the lid, because there's plenty on the lid as we shook it. We'll just run the liner brush, through it. Okay, so it's nice and liquidy clearing. Okay. Now, I'm just going to use, shall I use, okay. Okay, now I've put some black onto the palette. I'll come over here so I can show you. Maybe. Where are we? Alright. So we'll just go right into that. Right into that colour. Rotate. Turn. Like this. Or you can turn it the other way if you can find it easier with another method of turning, then use that. But then pull it out. There we go. And that gives you a nice sharp point to do some branches. Where are we having these branches? Where are we having them? Well, I can see one round about here. There we go. Oh, there it is. These right on. Oh, there. And back into the paint. Let's see. He's growing out here and then he's, oh, I want to go up there. I want to wiggle about. I want to go up here for some sunshine. Okay, let me split off like that. It's thicker here. Little slithery one going up that way. Yeah, no, wherever. Needs to be a little bit thicker. Just here, there. Okay. Pull that tap here. There we go. Back into the black. Perhaps need a little more liquid clear shortly. We'll see. Okay. Turn in, pulling out. Let's see, where do we want to go now? I've got one there, let's have one over here. Let's start him at the top and then he just wriggles on and he goes to that. That was a bit, okay. Now, needs a little more clear, a little more liquid clear. And he wiggles that way. Needs a little more liquid clear and then Brad doesn't add any more liquid clear, just carries on. Well, that's okay. That's okay because I realise there's quite a bit of liquid clear still mixed in with this black paint, so still runny enough for now. Right, so that's that. Let's go right into, be risky here. Right into a mountain. We've got a big black line in our sky now. Whatever will we do? Well, let's see how ridiculous we can make it. Put some more black lines in the sky and then right through the shadow part of the mountain. Right And here. Oh, this is tough. Now this paint's dry because I left it too long between the paint underneath. I left it too long between painting the mountain and painting on top here. But just need a touch more paint, and that problem isn't a problem anymore. It's not a problem anymore. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And wiggle. Oh, right up to the peak, right up to the peak. Worked so hard on that mountain and covering him up with a tree. Alright. Back around here. This one, just so all that kind of shit into these clouds, some branches, twigs and sticks and things linking up there. He's like a claw, isn't he? Grabbing that sunshine, grabbing it up. So let's get some more. Into that cloud there. Have a nice contrast against that cloud. A bit more black paint, there we go. And yeah. Now maybe that goes that way. Because he's looking for the sun over there. And he'd be right. He'd be right. Okay, he'd find it. He's gonna find it. He's gonna find the sun. Solve that up. Oh, the leaves can let me put them on. Okay, let's bring this around here. That and then. Maybe he goes just to the edge of the canvas there, or off it, or we don't know, the leaves will probably end up going off. Okay, a bit thicker over there, and then okay, this one. There's a bit more detail going on this. Just a little. And then that can go like that. You can say, oh look, I'm a branch too. Alright. There's a twig coming off it there. Coming out of this bit. And he splits into two there. Hold on. There. That's where it is. And you just go over, maybe you just right through that one. Right through, right through. We don't know what we do there. Okay. Now then. Some kind of twiggy, sticky things happening around here. Just so that we can put some indications of what's going on underneath all of this foliage, and I think there's going to be some crisscrossed thingies going on. Very noisy up there. Very, very noisy and branch-wise. Lots of different branchy things and stuff happening there. Okay. Coming out that way. Alright. Now then, let's see what we can do. Please, go back to this round brush because I really enjoyed using that. Alright, so brown, Van Dyke brown, sap green, kind of tapping, kind of pulling just to get the colour mixed, and then I can do that to mix a little bit more than the tapping. I don't know, it just seems to work that way for me, but you can do it any way you like, getting some more of this darker colouring. Just going to turn it and tap it as well on that side. Okay, now I've been tapping it like this. I'm going to turn it around and see what happens. Okay, so we'll start with this one down here, and we'll just push up. Oh, and destroy half of the things we just created. But that's okay. That's okay. Because we're learning. With a burnt umber in there. Because why not? Okay. More dark, bit more dark. So I've got sap green, and light brown, and burnt umber. Over this side. Okay. Right over that mountain. You knew we'd have to do that, didn't you? You knew we would. So, tap in. Interesting sound. Turn it around. And just pushing some leaves into it. Oops. Moving the canvas. Alrighty. Don't forget about this one, eh? Okay. Yeah, see that thin leaves up there with off the canvas. Tell you what. Let's add a little. Be risky. Oh, there we go. Right over that mountain. What I see here, where's that? There it is. Lighter brush. Back into some black with a liner brush. Pull it out to a point. I see a little branch. We're not fair. No, we don't want to cover the entire thing up. But I just want a few leaves here. That's why there are some. Like I say, if you're doing a painting similar to this, or if you're following along with this one at all, or even if you're just copying this type of tree and putting it in your paint, you can do it however you like. However, whichever way you like to. If it excites you, it's fine. You go for it. Okay. Alright. Okay. Now then, I think to do the highlights, I'll use a fan brush. Let's see which fan brush we should use. I'll use the bigger fan brush. Two fan brushes. One's a little bigger than the other. I'll use the bigger one. Doesn't matter which. But that's the one I'm going to use. Okay, so we'll take this sap green that's here. Try not to get into the brown, and then we'll go into all these colours. Okay. Cad yellow. Some ochre in there. And there's some sap green. I'll tell you what I do want. A little more cad yellow. And I also want to wipe the brush there. And I'll change my gloves as well. Okay. Should have probably done this before I took my light out. Alright, so I don't contaminate everything. There we go. Just put that there a second. Cad yellow. so. Lots of it. Yellow. That's going to be a nice colour, isn't it? See how that turns out now. Let's just see. Touch once. If we don't like it, we'll come back. So far, so good. Okay. I'll do the bottom bits first. Right. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. The sun's shining on these bits over here. Okay, yellow, sap green. Just pushing them, moving upwards, so kind of like that. These bits at the top are going to be a little brighter than the ones underneath, but not too much, just enough so that we can tell that's where the sun's beating down more. Okay. Nice and warm sunshine. Alright, we'll just put a touch more red on that one, I think. Let's see if we can get, there we go, a nice bit of yellow. Yellow and green, there we go. Ooh, that's beautiful. Individual things. Oh, got a little hair there. Alright, just a bit there, but remembering not to cover, just going over some of the areas, not all of them, just some of the darker areas. I want to cover those up. Alright, I think I'm happy with this tree. He said, adding more to it. Okay, stop fiddling now. I'll just have one more bit. See at the top there? A bit of shadow there, I think. Instead of greens. There we go, shadow. Match it. That's nice. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. On these branches that we put the liquid black on, of the liquid clear and black, I'm just going to go into some white and umber. I'm just going to have a little bit of highlight on them, just so there's some sunshine on them. Not much, just a bit, just indications that the sun's not having a day on these little bits. He's still there, okay. Just bits of light shining through. Bits of light hitting, going through the trees and hitting those branches. Bouncing off that. Bouncing off these twigs and branches. Oh, maybe there's a bit up there too. A bit there where it's bouncing through. Maybe there's that bit there. Okay. Alright. Try and not get carried away badly. Sometimes having so much fun with these little bits and bobs in that you end up doing too many. I think that's enough for now. Alright, well, thanks for joining me again. enjoyed this. I hope it was relaxing for you. And maybe you're asleep. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, if you're following on to learn how to paint, hopefully you got some ideas on how to get some trees in there, different types of trees, some like a fuzzy evergreen and one a little further back. And maybe probably already know this, but just wanted to point out that when it's further back, it's smaller. When it's closer, it's bigger. So with these evergreens over here, so we're going to have that smaller. That one's bigger because it's farther, it's closer. That one's further, this one's closer. These evergreens, they don't seem right though, because I think if they were this big, if these evergreen trees were this big, it'd be a little closer than that, just a little bit closer. So I think we should probably bring those down here. Alright?